Hello, happy Wednesday, everybody. I am so glad to see we already have some people watching. Secret squirrels, regulars, we love you all. So happy to have you here today. As always, somebody give me a sound check and make sure you can hear me okay. And make sure that you are in live chat. Click the little button up at the top and make sure you are in live chat and not top chat. Hey, Corinne. Hey, Susan. You got a break from work? And let's flip the cameras around so you can see what I'm doing today here. Let's do this. You guys get to pick a color. Sounds good. Okay, good. I always like to confirm. Hi, Sue. So I need to make clusters. I have got so many scraps and I have sorted odds and ends into my little tubs. I've got green, red, blue, yellow, pink, and purple. So you guys get to pick which color I'm going to start with. And then I will grab my bin and we will see what we can get accomplished today. I have been really working hard on getting stuff finished and it feels so good. But of course it does generate some scraps. Hey, Journey. Hi, Joanne. So if nobody picks something, I might be leaning a little bit towards purple. Pink, I could do pink. I don't have a lot of pink, so that would be good. I could use up some of the pink. Any other votes? Going once. Going twice. Yellow. We got a pink and a yellow. Those would actually be two good colors to use today because I don't have a whole lot of stuff in those two color families. And I'm kind of what I want to do is I want to get the bases of the clusters. I'm not going to worry about beads or buttons on them, but I want to get the bases because then I can build them up or not as I put them in the kits. Let's do this. We'll start with pink and yellow. All right. So purple. Hi, Terry. Hi, Regina. Welcome. All right. We'll start with pink and see where we can go from there. I don't have a lot of pink. And sometimes it's a real challenge when I don't have a lot of a color because it's like, oh, what am I going to do? And immediately my first thought is, do I have a base? Well, we're going to make it work. All right. I need some scissors that I like. These will work. Hey, Lori and Terry and all the gang's all here. The gang's all here. All right, let's lay out some bases. I think these are all, oh no, these are some larger pieces. I'm sensing a possible shift in the way I store my scraps, which is fine. You know, things evolve. Okay, these are tiny. Those are not good for a base. This is kind of flimsy, but we could make it work. Yeah, we might only get a couple of pink ones done. All right, let's see what we can do here. Ooh, those are not sharp scissors. So what is everybody working on? Anybody doing something special for Mother's Day? Making anything for Mother's Day? Journey, your package might be there today. I forgot to look when it was expected to be delivered. Those guys together. These guys kind of together. We can get 3 pink. That would be good. Then trying to figure out how, as I package these guys, are they going to go together? This is a weird color. This is like a pinky orange something. Hey, Sherry. 14 people here. Wow. I don't know. This is reading more of a orangey coral, so I don't think that's going to work. Not that there's anything wrong with that color, but that part of it. Okay, here's, no. Oh, interesting. If I use the back side, okay, the back side looks much more pink than the front, so I can totally use the back. Thank you, Terry. That's a great idea. She said, I'll wait for a few more people before I start posting links. Better audience participation, and we love audience participation. Sue says, I've been buying books for my adult children. Does that count as a Mother's Day celebration? Well, always looking out for the kids, right? No matter what their age is. It's really hard not to want to, when we see the kids, send them home with stuff. I know when my son came to visit last week, I wanted to fill his arms with all kinds of stuff to take home. And right now he doesn't have the room for it. Hey, Cassie, welcome. Happy to have you here. I think you might be new unless I just didn't recognize you before. Corinne says, remember to like, thumbs up. Enchanted Dreams is indeed Lori Edwards, the talented and productive Lori Edwards, who also has all these awesome motivational quotes that she posts, which I just love. All right, we're just playing right now. Ooh, I have some pink fringy things. Some of this stuff, this is horrible. I cannot toss these things. I'll probably make some fabric out of it. But they work in clusters. You always hit me right in the feels every single time. Okay, if I'm going to do 3 pinks, then I want 3 pieces of this lace. You're new. Well, Cassie, we are happy to have you here. Based on your name, Junking 101 with Cassie, it sounds like you do a lot of junk journaling. A lot of other people here that do that. Yeah, pink, as you guys know, is not something that I go to on a regular basis, but that's okay. I won't hold it against the color wheel. Hey, Deb, how you doing today? Well, we have got people here that do all sorts of stuff. I would invite you, if you would like, to join the Facebook group as well, where everybody gets a chance to post their stuff and share and support one another. All right. We're going to go to my in-laws for Mother's Day, and my husband is going to cook. He's such a good cook for his mom and for me, and I always look forward to those meals. All right. I need, to accent that color. White is a good accent. This is some curtain material. You know what's going to come out next, right? My best friend, Mr. Seam Ripper. What is the Facebook group? It is Susan Taylor Brown Creative Circle, and there is a link below this video. All right, and we can always add white to any of the colors, and it just is going to help it pop. Okay. You're not seeing Cassie. Junking 101 with Cassie. She's right above where you said you're not seeing her. Lori says, my kids and grandkids are all coming over Sunday after I get off work. Oh, awesome. That is fabulous. Yeah, I got my celebration with my son when he came out on Thursday, and he brought me some whirligigs to put in the garden to decide where they're going to live. Hey, Kathy. Hope you get to hang with this. You don't get too many interruptions. All right. The first cluster of the day is always kind of slow. I like that as a base, which means that's a little heavier. And move that one over there. All right. Like all those tears. You know what? I'm going to make that just a little bit shorter. I will take this opportunity to remind everybody that Terry has got a fabulous Etsy shop, Lucid Lizard, and I hope she will post it down in the comments. I would like that to be the first link so everybody can go over and check it out. She makes beautiful jewelry. I've got a fabulous butterfly clip from her, and she also has ephemera paper packets for you journalers. And I would love to see people go check her out, favor her stuff, shop if you're in the mood to support her as a thank you for all the wonderful hard work she does posting your links throughout the live. Let's see, there's a little one of these. Okay, yep. Terry, please post your link. That should be the very first one you should post, and you're going to post it throughout the day, I hope. So, me and straight edges, we're not the best of friends. That's why the seam ripper comes out. Okay, Terry's got my links there. Might need to do them one at a time so they don't run together, but you can figure it out. Pretty much you type my name in any of the places, and that's how you can find me. My shop is Susan Taylor Brown. My Instagram is Susan Taylor Brown, and my YouTube is Susan Taylor Brown. The Facebook group, if you type in Susan Taylor Brown in Facebook, you should find me. All right. Let's wreck this one up a little bit more. Susan says, how are the plans for the sale coming along? They are coming along. I wish the next one will be a little bit even more organized, because my son, who does my website for me, wants to move me into a different e-commerce site. So this one's a little bit more down home. It's got a down home feel. It's going to be fine. And I have been finishing stuff like crazy, which feels really good. And I'm getting excited because there are more ideas coming for projects for us going forward. Right now, the next couple weeks, I am really just focused on the sale. And then we got some ideas coming up for future projects that have me really excited. All right, let's see. Do you want me to move you down any? Let's see. Let me come back over here. Oh, I keep forgetting I have a mouse. I could do this with the mouse. If I go to this one, where's my zoom? And that might be a little better. There we go. Okay, Cassie, I will let you in after the live. I will happy to let you in there after the live. All right, I like that, just like that. There's a little bit of pink fuzzy something. It's kind of like a pinky purple combo. Some acrylic yarn. Hey, Barbara, how are you doing? Well, this is probably wool. It's not going to shred. This is old stuff. Let's see if we can get it to shred. Barbara, how's your little book coming? Or what are you working on? You're probably working on something else now, huh? Let's see. That's good enough. I'm going to need some pink thread. Ugh. And I could have had all my needles threaded ahead of time, but you know, half the fun is watching me struggle to thread a needle, right? Okay, probably not. I think I want some white back there. You are great. I love that. I feel great too. I have, let's see, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I have been in the studio every day rather than out here. And I am getting better at keeping the big mess in there. And okay, absolute Susan Dingling moment. I don't know why I never brought a stool in there to sit on working at the island. And because we've got these hardwood floors, and I've been doing that for the last few days. And surprise, surprise, my back is not killing me. My knees are not killing me at the end of the day. How silly is that I just didn't even think to do that? Okay, see how adding just that little bit of white, it just makes the pink pop a little bit more. I would like one more thing of threads. That'll work. Because yes, I obsessively save all the, oh, I like that. I like that. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing today? It's supposed to get hot for us these next few days, isn't it? It's going to be crazy. Here we are in Maine. We're going to have summer weather. Corinne, do you have any of your little dolls in your shop, or are they things that you're just doing aside from the shop? I know you're doing journals and some other things. And of course, the old thread immediately spreads apart. A single strand, I should have no problem getting in there. All right. All right. I did bring the needle threader out here. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, as you know, pink doesn't normally do it for me, but I'm excited to get some new colors in here. There we go. Why make it difficult? If you got a needle threader, use it. And I could totally see putting some beads in the center of this, but again, that's something I can always build up. I can use this as it is. You don't currently have any in there. Okay. I just wanted people to go see them. But if you're in the Facebook group, you can see that's where you post them. So see, you could always build this up with a larger piece and keep building it up until you got it the size you wanted. It could, start off on a page in a journal, or it could become a cover piece. You love pink. Everybody's got their color. Okay, let's see. What do we have a majority of favorite colors here? Everybody type in the chat, what's your favorite color? Y'all know mine is green. Mine is green. So who has a favorite color? And then I will ask you my textile question. Lori's a pink one too. Lori and Cassie love pink. Journey is green. Susan is pink. Ah. Teal for Barbara. I should have known that, Barbara. Purple for Kathy. Well, sometimes you get lucky and everything gets attached the first time. Okay, that one didn't quite. Turquoise blue for Terry. I can see that. Any of the warm colors for me. Orange, yellow. Ah, that's nice, Sue. Yeah, I was like in my 30s, I think, before I understood the difference between warm and cool colors. Cassie also loves orange. All right, let's see. Is everybody nailed down? Everybody is nailed down. Boom, boom, boom. One of the things as I'm finishing off these wall pieces, working in the studio, and I'm touching so many different colors, I'm like, oh, I love this and I love this. Where's my little scissors? There we go. There's the first pink one. So now see, you could just put some little sparkly beads in the center. You could do all kinds of things with that one. All right, let's see. Enough thread to do it again. Journey says, I love all the nature colors, browns, greens, blues. I'm falling back in love with blues. I used to like blues a lot when I was a kid, and then I sort of grew away from it, I guess. And yeah, the nature colors. Regina says green, anything landscape color. Yep. Tell you what, at the thrift store, if you can ever find some of this sheer curtain material. Thank you, Barbara. It was just something that was attached to the pink threads. But this stuff is so versatile. You can do so many things with this. Okay, now we need it. Where did I do with the base? Thank you, Joanne. Don't worry about cutting straight. It doesn't matter. Oh, I love it when it does that. It just kind of gathers up and goes all wonky. Oh, I meant to bring something over to get you. I might post it in the group and get in ask some questions about it. Okay, so we have this and we have something like this. We can add a little bit of that lace. We want to use that. Stuff is so stiff. Ooh. Terry says, I'm going to be listing 3 new ephemera packages today. Woohoo! It's my 1-year anniversary selling ephemera packages. Well, you have some beautiful ones in there, and I know there's stuff that everybody could be using in their journals. And you don't have to fussy cut. For those of us whose hands don't work as well as they did when we were younger, it's a great thing to do. All right, I'm going to cut some of this off. This is why I end up with so many scraps, right? Is I cut these little things off and then they multiply in the sleep. Barbara says, I've recently received 2 envelopes in the mail from crafty friends adding to my black and white stash of paper and fabric. And I think you said you were working on black and white clusters today for your book, right? All right, we need, this would be okay in the background. And black and white buttons. You know, I'm trying to decide if I need to destash buttons because I'm not using them, and I probably have way too many to use, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Okay, clusters. I had that right. It's just a little bit. Then you're going to see more of the pink. There we go. And I wish I had some more of this material. Bouquets will be very popular. Yeah. Hey, Barbara, Chicken Pot Society. How are you today? What are you working on? Let's see. Of course, there's going to be this big old pile of threads left when I'm done. Be time to make some more cordage here pretty soon. Good stretch. No, that's a salvage edge. We're going to fix that. Rough it up. Now, a fun thing you can do if you really want rough edges on a bunch of your cut scraps is stick them in one of those little laundry bags, you know, so they're all contained, and throw them through the washing machine a few times, and you will have a lot of things unraveling and a big old pile of threads to use at the end. All right. We need something. Oh, we don't have this one in there yet. Ah, Lori went and checked them out. She says, very nice ephemera packs, Terry. And you get a good bargain for your price there. You starting to feel any better, Terry? I know you've been a little under the weather. See, it just looks so much more interesting to me now. Oh, okay. I like that one on top. Well, looky there. I don't know what that goes to, but we can add it here. All right. What else do we got in here? Now you got to go shopping. Yep. Just these little piles of threads there. I had to stop myself from going and getting anything else out of the, oh, why is my pink cordage in here? Well, look at that. There's my pink cordage. I guess I was going to do some more with what's in there. Let's put that off to the side. All right. I think that's good enough on that one. Yeah. As long as it reads pink, that's what I'm trying to do, is just get a bunch of these done in a variety of colors. Because I've been using them up, and my supply of clusters is low, so I do want to get them for the sale. The sale is set for May 20th. If you are on the mailing list, you will get access for 2 days before I open it to the public. So you can sign up for the newsletter, which is down in the description box for this video and all my videos. And the newsletter is very occasional. It's not going to be like every week you get something from me. Sue says, I bought a junk journal from Maria's Miscellany and had a play in it for the first time yesterday. Fun. Oh, that's awesome. I love Maria. Love Maria. I'm so glad that you grabbed something from her. Terry said, I had to cancel my painting class tonight. Voice is still sketchy and I'm very dizzy. Nasty cough. Oh, that does not sound good. Please don't stress yourself being here today. You know, if it's too much for you, don't feel overwhelmed. Sherry is going off to go get groceries on a nice weather day. Well, good. Glad you were able to pop in and say hello. Yeah, Terry, we all want you feeling better. I know it's frustrating to have to cancel a class. Well, I confess, I was a little worried about the pink, and I'm not so worried anymore. I'm going to get a couple of nice pink clusters out of this mess. Barbara says, a friend took me to Costco yesterday. Happy shopping. Yep. My husband does the Costco runs, and I'm so grateful. I don't do well in that crowded environment. He's got these long legs, so he just zips in there and zips back out again. Terry is sharing for a friend who's with the grandkids today. That is Corey. Corey's Art Cafe. You may know her formerly as Corey's the Art Archaeologist. She is doing some fabulous stuff with collages, and you will always be inspired after watching any of Corey's stuff. Okay, Susan, bye-bye. I will do just a real quick show and tell of the clusters when they're done for a recap. Turn that mess into clusters. There's a slogan. Yeah. All right. Everything appears to be attached. Nice. Yeah, I tried doing a short for last week's recap. I wasn't so thrilled with that. So I think I'm just going to do my little, a 5-minute or less recap show and tell. I'm not going to try and edit today's, the live stream. That just really turned into be more work than I had time for. All right, there's another pink one. And whenever I have threads that, are longer than I need, I'm just leaving them until we see where this is going to land. All right, let's see if we can get one more at least out of the pink. Haven't even used this. Being sick is no fun. This reads more purple to me, so I'm going to put that aside. Barbara says, I've already outgrown my stash boxes for the black and white paper and black and white fabric. Now I'm frustrated. Can't see everything at once. Oh, that is frustrating. That's kind of what, before I came on here, I was sorting. I used to keep my threads and yarns and laces all separate. And I realized I had so much in each of the colors that I think I'm going to have to go to plastic bags for them so that I can keep everything together. All right, if that goes there. Lori says you can just throw the pink clusters in a box and send them my way. I may send you a bunch of pink. So how many, I know we have a lot of people here that enjoy, like I do, working in fabric. How many people do we have here that also enjoy working with paper? I think we have a lot. I need Mouse here to be asking some questions. Kathy's also a paper one. Barbara, yes, with paper. Barbara says, I need to do something differently, a larger tray to toss everything into. Well, one for paper, one for fabric. Lori's more paper. Corinne enjoys both. Terry's a paper addict. Journey loves paper. So I think after the sale, I'm going to be doing some paper stuff. I'll still be doing my fabric, but I'm also going to be doing some paper stuff. I love too many things. Yep. Cassie says, I love paper. I know, me too, Journey. And as I was working on one of my paper canvas pieces, it's like, oh man, I want to go back to doing some of that. Barbara says, Terry, I just looked at your Etsy shop. Wow, so many packets to choose from. She is just awesome with getting those things together. All right, we're just gonna keep layering things up. If the cluster doesn't look right, you're just not done yet. Let's see. It's kind of the same color. So that's the trouble because I don't have a wide variety of pinks. Corinne says, I saw someone couching over a rubber band today. I'm going to try it in my black and white just because book. Oh, how interesting. I like that idea. Hey, Helen. She says, I just have a minute to be in here. What is Terry's Etsy shop name? It is the Lucid Lizard. Terry, do you have time real quick to post your link again so Helen can find it? I think I'm going to start putting your link down in my description on the lives because you deserve that recognition for all your hard work. Oh, did I miss Eladia coming in? There's Terry's link for you, Helen. Thanks for checking her out. All right, let's see. Let's come out. This one's going to be one at an angle. Need something else. Oh, got to fix your link. Let's see. What did she do on her link? Oh, Terry, you've got two links in one. So it's posted twice, so it doesn't quite go together. So it's Lucid Lizard Jewelry. Helen is bebopping all over the place most of the time. She is a busy gal. Don't like that. I'm just going to grab some threads. Let's see if we can perk it up. Michelle, you're like so many of us. Yeah, it's Lucid Lizard Jewelry. That's more coral. That's not pink enough. There we go. Terry, you have to stop after or anybody that's doing this, just go from the first HTTPS. Here, let's see if I can quickly do this. I can't. Did Mouse get here? Did you hear your name? I can't easily do this. I can't copy from there. Hey, Barbara, you still have admin privileges? Yeah, I was looking for your questing that you always do with us, Mouse. You always have the best questions. I'm just in StreamYard and I can't copy and paste from StreamYard easily. There you go, Terry. Awesome. There is Terry's direct link. Let's get a little bit more in there. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about, I know I keep talking about doing more lives, but I have so many clusters to work on because I have so many scraps. I'm thinking I might just go live at different times of the day and work on clusters so I'll have somebody to chat with. No worries, Terry. You and I, when you start feeling better, we need to go through the list because I'm thinking maybe I want to put our Wednesday live people, might do a page for them on my website so that you all can get a little bit of extra exposure. Didn't even look at the clock. Oh, good. I still have time. Wow. These are going. I need questions. Yeah. It's hard for me to think of what else to talk about while I'm trying to concentrate on stitching too. So your questions are always super helpful. So it's just that you need to have each link has to be on its own line. You can't post in the chat. You can't post like 2 or 3 links at once. You can only post one thing that starts with HTTPS, and then any other links would have to be, you know, another line. But I need to get the updated list of links from you because I can't find the one you sent me before. All right. I'm not so sure that that one's attached. Let's do a couple more stitches. I just love making these clusters. They make me happy. Mouse is also in my area. We're going to get some warm weather these next few days, I hear, and wind. Warm and windy. All right. Everybody's attached. All right. So what's the next color? Is it yellow? Was that the next one? I do three in this color, and then I can move on. All right, so we have 3 pink clusters. And again, remember, these are bases, and they can always be built up more. You can keep adding and adding. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Maybe I need to add to that now, huh? That's the same one there, but I do like that long one there. All right, we're going to pull the pink aside. Whoops. Semi-clean up the mess. Just going to get the threads out of the back in their bag. Yeah, they went faster today. I think having the colors sorted ahead of time kind of helped me. All right, let's do this and grab my little bin. All right, so Mouse says, maybe, how has crafting changed with more reopening? Or how are New Year's resolutions, thoughts versus reality in the first quarter? Oh, did anybody do New Year's resolutions? I did not. My resolution is always the same. Find the happy. I spent too many years being depressed and not looking for the happy, and now it's all about finding the happy. So if you made a New Year's resolution, did you stick with it? All right, let's see what we have for yellow. I actually think yellow is going to be tough. And has your crafting changed since things have been reopened? That's an interesting question. I have kind of made a decision to not be shopping, so except for kind of online. So for me, no. And I still don't trust everybody, you know, in a general let's stay safe thing. Not, you know, strangers. So my friends, it's different. But I am looking forward to getting together with some friends to craft in person. All right, let's see. Yellow, yellow. All right, we need a base. Sue says, I don't do resolutions at the new year for most any time of the year. Yeah, mostly for me, I don't, because when I don't hit them, then I beat myself up. And, you know, I'm tired of beating myself up. I did that in my 20s and 30s and 40s. Hey, Fiona, how are you doing today? And, you know, I'm not a fan of beating yourself up. There's no payoff in it. So, you know, my regular goals are every day to make art, find something to laugh about, and always look for the happy. And I can guarantee the dog always gives us something to laugh about. And finding the happy is much easier than it used to be. Yeah, Barbara, I mean, it's like the occasional doctor's appointment is enough to make me nervous. So I've got PT for my finger, possibly my last one, PT on Monday, I think it is. You know, my book group, we meet on Zoom, and I like it. I'm a fan of that kind of thing. Plus, you know, a lot of our book group people have moved out of the area, not a lot, some of them, so we can still connect. People become less careful. And our people's supply is possibly backed up by worldwide shortage. Yep. Yeah, it's really funny. When I was looking through my supplies, I was working on the wall art. I was thinking, well, what is it that I maybe, you know, might eventually need to get more of? And you know what it is? It's white thread. White thread. Who would have thought? I have lots of off-white, but I didn't have some white, and I really needed white. Michelle says, have you dyed lace lately, and where do I get your lace? I have not done any dyeing for a long time. You guys know I've been working on setting up the outside studio, the garage studio for the wet stuff. And I'm not going to be doing any dyeing until after the sale. So it's kind of working on finishing stuff and getting stuff ready for that. Lace comes usually from the Goodwill. I've gotten some lace from Esme's shop, Crafty Me shop, but mostly it's Goodwill tearing clothes apart. Corinne says, I have a life resolution of finding joy in the everyday. Every day. I've been doing so consciously since February 2016. That's fabulous. That's like I find the happies every day. Barbara says, my New Year's wish was art every day. I do that, defining the term very loosely. In mid-April, I started the Linda Berry style daily journaling, and I've done that for 2 weeks now. It's fun. I don't know anything about that. I'll have to go check that one out. Linda Berry. Yeah, years ago, I kept just a gratitude journal when I was, I mean, like we're going back 25 years when things were really, really rough. And it really got me through a lot of tough times. And the find the happy every day is kind of an offshoot of that. I used to list 3 things every day. And then I used to do a gratitude post, a grateful post. These are things I'm grateful for. And so it's kind of morphed now into the happy recount of the day. Yeah, what's a Linda Berry style journaling? What is it different? How is that different from anything else? I'd forgotten I had all this yellow lace. I think there need to be more yellow clusters in the future. Look at all these different ones. She's got a couple books out, Syllabus and Making Comments. It's a very loose style, lots of doodling. Oh, whoops. I forgot to even move my microphone over. Wow. Hopefully you guys have been hearing me okay. I just realized my microphone was all the way over on the other side of the desk. You're loving the yellow? Thank you. I did not realize I had so much yellow. So let's see what all we can do. Now, of course, we need some. Now we need to put a little bit of white in there because that white really pops stuff. Corinne says, I love your happy every day. Thank you. Yeah, it really does help you do like a mind shift sometimes. If you're having a bad day, it's like, well, you know, I gotta post something. I gotta find something in my day. And really, I mean, there were days when I was, you know, suicidal, where the best thing I could come up with was I had a job, I had a dog, and I had a cat. That was it. But recognizing that, eventually you can, you know, write it down so many times that eventually stuff starts to, like, your brain starts to say, well, wait a minute. But then there was that, you know, great conversation you had with a friend, and that was that unexpected phone call, and you got a raise or something like that. And eventually you shake yourself out of it. She teaches classes in universities, teaching people in all curricula how to notice what they usually skip in their lives. Every day they have to draw a 5-minute self-portrait on a 3x5 file card. Oh, wow. Oh, Terry found the link. There we go. Thank you, Terry. She found a link for us to go check out Linda Berry. Oh, these are perfect. They're just little short threads. And I see some silk waste, which always helps tie stuff together. I think I want something else back there. Those are teeny tiny pieces. It's kind of gold. That's more gold than yellow. Ooh, this works. Miss Linux 2010 has just done a couple of videos about how she uses her style. I'll put the links in here. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. There we go. We just need a little bit more fluff. All right. Did I bring out? I did bring out yellow thread. How's that for being organized, huh? I'm on it. I'm sure there'll be something I'm going to want. I won't have it, but. Let's see. I certainly didn't need to cut it quite that long, but oh well, I guess that just means more yellow clusters, right? I used to do a lot of journaling, but haven't lately. Haven't for a few years. I kind of want something else that's kind of, oh, there's some loose silk thread. So I think maybe a little bit of white, just a touch of white on top. Hey, Nicola. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for the kind words. Matt says, are there new craft trends this year? I think a card a day ICAD was a trend that kind of disappeared. Are people still sewing a tag a week? I think there's a lot of people that are just discovering Anne Brooks and her tag a week. There's people doing Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. There's always something, I think, going on. I know I won't be somebody that does a challenge kind of turn to get people going every month. I'm thinking after the sale, I have an idea for another. Well, I have 2 ideas. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Okay, Barbara has posted a few things for us about Linda Berry. I appreciate that. To go check them out after. Actually, I need to mark them so that I don't forget them. Sue says Ann Brooks' 52 Tags project is officially over, but she has a new flag project on her Ko-fi account. Okay. Do many people here support artists over on Ko-fi? This one came out from under, so let's figure out how to get that back in there. Clusters are fiddly, but I think they're worth the effort. Hey, Anne, how are you? Barbara says, Mouse, I regularly make a batch of tags because I send a tag bookmark out. Whoops. With my birthday cards. Oh, that's smart. Nicola says, just imagining how wonderful your clusters tonight would look in a black velvet book, rainbow clusters. Ooh, I like that idea. I have thought about some book ideas around clusters. Ko-fi is a thing kind of like Buy Me a Coffee, where, and I can't really say that it's like Patreon, but it is. Somebody else have any more experience with Ko-fi? It's where like I could put up an account on Ko-fi, and instead of doing a super thanks or something here, if you guys were enjoying stuff, you could go over there and make a donation that would come to me as a tip kind of thing. And then you can put different levels in it. So like Patreon. So at one level, everybody gets this thing. And then at another level, if you donated more, you would get something else. That's a really bad explanation about it. Maybe somebody else that's checked it out can tell a little bit more. It's a fine line between, wanting to be a working artist and share your knowledge and get paid for your work, and also between not feeling like you're continually asking your audience for money or acting greedy. Some people were talking yesterday in a meeting about worrying about feeling greedy when they ask to get paid for their work. It's a slippery slope sometimes. I think you have to find that happy medium. Oh, I'm really liking the yellow too. It's a lot like Patreon. I think the fees might be a little better on Ko-fi. I checked it out a while ago, and I think at one time I might have set up Buy Me a Coffee just to have another, option there, but I didn't push it. See, I hate that. I love what they're doing with the idea of the Ugly Art Club, but maybe I need to have a Make Art Just Because You're Happy Club. I just don't like using the word ugly art. Yeah, there's an official club thing. I just don't like the name. Maybe I need a Art Just Because Club. That's it. Everybody's attached. Everybody's attached. No, I did not expect to like this one as much as I do. The thing I like about clusters is, the no rules. The no rules. I'd rather make happy art than ugly art. Yeah, and I just want to make art because making art makes me happy. I just think, our brain cannot hold a bunch of these different, oops, this needs a little bit more over here, a bunch of these conflicting thoughts in our mind at the same time. So yeah, it's the negative connotations to the word ugly. Exactly. And so if your brain hears the word ugly enough times, and you start to think, you know, that everything you're doing is ugly, and I don't like that idea. Anne says, yellow is a color I never use. I may change my mind now that I see how pretty your cluster is. Yeah, and clusters are a great way to experiment with colors that you don't normally do. That's another really fun thing about them. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, that would be attached a little better. Mouse says, I feel greedy concerns are a bit gendered. Guys are more okay building up their business and such. You got that. You absolutely got that right, Mouse. A man would not apologize for charging for their work or charging, you know, a fair price for their work. And women are so grateful. I'm generalizing. Many women are so grateful that somebody wants to buy their art that they're willing to take, you know, next to nothing for it. And I ran into that a lot when I was writing, because there were so many people that were anxious to get their first byline that they were willing to write for free. Well, if enough people are willing to write, you know, articles and books for free just to get their name on the cover, the publishers are not going to want to pay people to write at all. So I used to do a tremendous amount of work for a Korean publisher, work for hire, and you know, I'd only get paid a couple $100 a book. And it was crazy because when I first started doing it, it was okay. But then I kept doing it for way too long. And it was crazy because there were so many people willing to work for free. Sue, yes, repeating the word of the use of the word ugly. I cannot remember the statistics. I knew it when I was teaching in prison because I would use it on the boys all the time. But there's a scientific basis on how many positives it takes. I want to say it's something like 15 positives to cancel out one negative. That's the statistics that's sticking in my brain, and I'll have to look it up and share that again later. But sorry, here's the yellow one, and we're just going to put this one off to the side. I'm liking using up this lace. So if you imagine, like I said, I had this information at hand when I was teaching in prison because, of course, those boys were in there for all kinds of horrible things. And they had come from, many of them, from really rough home lives where they were constantly told, you know, they were worthless, they were useless, they were wasted space, they were just these horrible people, they were never going to amount to anything, you know, you eat too much, you know, it's just all the negative things, and they pile up in the brain. And then the brain says, well, you know, if enough people believe this, then it must be true. And I would go in and try and, you know, the whole time that I was in there, we would be talking about positive things, and they weren't allowed to say anything negative about themselves or about their work. But if you have a lifetime of negative words, you need a second lifetime of positive words to help knock all that stuff out of your brain, which is why I do my daily happies, because I'm trying to silence the ridiculous voices in my head that have told me that I am worthless, that have told me that my art is a waste of time, that my writing is a waste of time, that I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too ugly. All those negative voices that we've carried for years, you need to cancel out of your head. You need to get rid of it. And the only way to get rid of it is to give it something new to think about, so that your brain says, well, wait a minute, I don't have room to think all those negative thoughts because I got all these awesome thoughts going on. And so that is why I continually push myself to find the happies every day, because I don't want those negative voices to get power again. Sorry, that's my soapbox, and I will jump on that one at any time. No rules clusters, yes. Just because club, yeah. Mouse says, I think it was 3-to-1 or 7-to-1 positive to negative, but it's, been a bit debunked scientifically. Sometimes things can work in life and it's hard to prove scientifically. Yeah, that makes sense. I still like the idea that it's going to take some positives. And okay, if you just go by sheer numbers, if you think about what you remember, you do not remember as often the kind things that people have said to you, but you remember the times that you have been wounded. And those wounds stick with us a lot easier than the positives. So it makes sense that we will need more positives to push the negatives out. Without even looking at a particular number, you're just going to need more positives to push the negatives out, because that's just the way life goes. All right, me and my soapbox and my seam ripper. I want something different. Let's see. Well, something really white. That'll work. See, I haven't even gotten to my cheesecloth. I always bring out way too many things. Or you discount the kind. Yeah, you absolutely do. You just, it's our human nature, unfortunately, to discount the good things. Terry says, I was once a negative person. Now my daughter claims that I'm overly optimistic. Positive feels better. Yep. Yeah, I was too. I mean, there are things in my life that, I wish I could go back and change, because I was only focusing on the negative, and I was only focusing on looking backwards at all the horrible things in my past, instead of realizing how absolutely awesome life was in that moment. So once you learn how to live more in the moment, I think a lot of that gets better. Wednesday therapy session. Yep. Free therapy. Barbara says, I've always loved that meme, whatever. The mind grows by what it feeds on. Very important to think the good stuff. Yes. Fiona says, I like your soapbox and I like the positivity in this group. Me too. This group is awesome with being positive. And that's why, that's why the Facebook group, I think, is so important, because as you guys share your work, you get to hear the positive feedback from other people. And I appreciate those of you that jump in and compliment people. You don't wait for me, because I don't always have the time to get there as fast as stuff is posted. And so I really appreciate that the rest of you pop in there and start giving the kind words as well. There we go. That's the same kind of lace, so I'm not crazy about that. Joanne says, yes, the key is living in the present moment. Yep. Mouse says, self-protection physically and emotionally is a strong instinct. Remembering pain is part of that, but leaving wounds open or picking at it can be detrimental. Yep. Barbara says, I used to write only the negative feelings in my journal. Then I got totally bored with the same old sad story, refused to write any more of it, and noted only the good stuff. Now I love rereading. Yeah. And we sometimes, we tend to, as we retell these stories, we're embellishing them in our brains, and they're not always the truth of what really happened, because each time we retell the story, we add a few more details. And by the time we're done, we have created this big old long story about stuff that was probably not as bad as we thought it was at the time. Oh, you got some great suggestions on your hanky journal. Sue says, I appreciate the support in the Facebook group too. I'm going to move ahead with my hanky journal based on the suggestions I received there. That's going to be such a wonderful project. And again, I'm adding just a little bit of white to help the yellow pop. I feel like this needs something else back there. Maybe I'm tired of that lace. I need a different white lace is what I need. Behold the towering stacks. Let's see if we can get to the, no, that's not the lace bin. Oh, but I do see something white there. There we go. That might be it. Barbara says, Mouse, we learn to protect ourselves often by agreeing with our detractors. Some therapist once said it's good to thank that internal protector, not for making the wrong decision, but for protecting. Yeah. Got distracted from it by a wedding quilt I now want to make. Oh my. Oh, Journey, no. Absolutely. She says, I didn't mean anything negative. I was just wondering what it was. Please, 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 Journey, do not feel bad about it. I think it's been a wonderful discussion. And I think the Ugly Art Club does a lot of really great things in helping people get past the idea that their art has to be perfect and beautiful. It's all the process of creating art. And, you know, some of us just don't like the word ugly. And I think this has prompted a fabulous discussion. So I'm really grateful for it. And it looks like other people are too. Sue, will you have enough time to make the wedding quilt? Artists sharing ideas broaden our horizons. Yes, Terry says, I've really been enjoying our online community. And I love it that we all do so many different things. But again, I really appreciate those of you that jump in. Don't wait for me to comment. In the beginning of the group, I felt like everybody was waiting for me to comment first. And sometimes I just don't get there in time, and I don't want people to feel bad. All right. That looks a little better. Kind of fluffy. I'll be using a technique I find easy and quick. Mostly it will be color choices that will make it special for the couple. Oh, awesome. Hugs from Terry to Journey. Hugs from everybody to Journey. Fiona says, Journey, please don't take it to heart. It was all just about words. And I think it's an important discussion to have. I really do. I still want one more little bit of white something. I need a something. I don't know what that something is. Yeah, maybe we can make this work. Just want a little bit of white coming off at the top. My thing is... Mouse says, my thing is perpetually claiming that I'm going to post a video. Joanne says, love the fluffy yellow cluster. Thank you. Corinne says, the Ugly Art Club is about embracing what others may see as ugly. Yep. And I say more power to them. More power to them. But I think maybe I need a Just Because Club. Because I need to put one more project on my lap, right? Because I just don't have enough. All right, let's see. Yeah, I just want a little bit more white coming out of there. Whoops, almost lost my needle. Fluffy yellow reminds me of baby chicks, yes. Focusing on the positive is healthier. Yeah, and you know, who doesn't need that, right? Who doesn't need to feel like a little bit healthier mental health-wise? But I am all for anything that helps people get shook up a little bit about the way they've been thinking about that stuff and silence the voices in the head, because the stories we tell ourselves, they shape our days. And I know that when I used to tell myself stories about how miserable I was, surprise, I was miserable. And now when I tell myself stories about how happy I am, I was thinking last night just how absolutely joyful I have felt the last few days in my office, all because all I did was move a stool in there, which is so silly. I could have done it a couple years ago. And instead I would stand at the island and be in pain the next day. So, you know, it's all what you want to focus on. And I wish they taught that kind of stuff in school. I don't know. Maybe they're doing that kind of mindfulness, living in the moment in schools nowadays. Sue says it's also healthier to let go of unrealistic artistic expectations. Yep. Although I look at something, it's like, well, I could do that. And of course I could if I practiced for a gazillion years, but my initial reaction is always, oh, of course I could do that. Of course I could. Yes, I could. Terry says, Kathy, how are the customers today? Michelle says hankies are fun to use. Yes, they are. Barbara, Susan, do you know the song? How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? Could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? I do not know that song, Barbara. That sounds like something we need to. Oh, I love that. How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. That is absolutely gorgeous. Patty. Hey, Patty. I think the word ugly is perceived as a negative, but someone who thinks something is ugly another would think is art. I don't dwell on labels. It's smart not to dwell on labels. And you're right. I mean, we could all go to the museum and we would all pick one piece of art that we thought was ugly or didn't work for us. And we would all pick something else that we thought was beautiful and was absolutely perfect. And of course, perfect doesn't exist either. But, labels make us feel like we know what everybody else is talking about. So we do tend to want to put a label on things. I know I used to search for labels all the time. I wanted to be labeled as something. Well, I think the thing is it's sort of by naming it the Ugly Art Club, what they've done is created, interest. I mean, look how long we've talked about it. And also it's, I don't want to say clickbaity because they're, they follow through on their stuff, but it gets you to check it out. It encourages interest in learning more. And then you can decide whether something's for you or not. I wonder, in 20 minutes, can I get another one done? I might be able to get another one. That'd be great if I could get 6 clusters in one day. Well, in one live. Corinne says, I make things just because, and I was surprised when someone wanted to buy my things, especially since my kids don't ever want any of it. Pretty funny to me. I know. I made something for my daughter years ago, and I know she liked it at that time. My son, it's not his kind of thing. My mom's not interested in it. So yeah, it's weird. There's another yellow one. I think 6 might be a record because I think I've done 5 before, but I don't know that I've done 6. So let's see what we can make happen. And of course, the secret to making a cluster is don't think so much. All right, we got a different white lace out. Oh, good. Please look it up and share it with us in the group would be great. Okay, I'll do this. All right, I need to mark this one. Barbara posted the link. Michelle got her rusted safety pins from Amazon, way too expensive, but I really like them. Nice. Joanne is working on eliminating labels from my life. I want to appreciate a bird or a tree or whatever just because without having to know its proper name. Yeah, I think I need to explore some more stuff around the just because concept because I think that's what many of us at this stage in our life are looking for. All right, let's wrap this one up. Well, I'm pretty jazzed. The progress on these. I was looking at some old clusters the other day and realized, oh, that was before I really fell in love with my seam ripper. They look so foreign to me. I was like, I don't recognize them. Then I took the seam ripper to them and they were all better. 25 people watching. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Secret squirrels, we love you. Okay, I like the yellow showing through the lace. And you could do everything white and just do a little pop of yellow. There's nothing that says that it has to be all yellow. But I do like having these made up ahead of time so that I can pick and choose. There's a little bit of yellow. Mouse says, do I have YouTube metrics for your audience, ages, gender, and what have you? Yes. I would say probably 80% are 40 and above. 90% are probably 60 and above, primarily female. I mean, I don't have them all right in front of me here, but let's see, that's the same lace. All right, so now we need to be creative because Barbara says, which reminds me, employ your thumbs, everyone. Thank you for that reminder. Barbara says, Shania Knoll is one of my favorite singers, and in fact, she's paying me a royalty for a verse of a song that she sings, Where I Am is Holy. Wow. Wow. Congratulations on that. Patty says, I asked my 80-year-old aunt for hankies, and boy, did she bless me. Some are embroidered by my grandma and crocheted edging by my other aunt. Oh, that is fabulous. What a treat. Okay, so sometimes I pile a bunch on, and then as I start to stitch things down, I pull them off. I need some white threads. Oh, I need to thread a needle. Michelle says, Mouse, I relate to Susan. We're the same age, like nature projects, and Susan is understanding and a good teacher. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. Terry says, we have been doing really good in the like department today. Yes, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Sue says, I thought some of the hankies I'd inherited were embroidered by my relatives, but on close inspection, they look machine stitched. Oh, well, still, I think you're going to have a fun project. I can't wait to see. It's great fun to get those tiny checks every 6 months from her sales of her CDs. I cash them at the credit union and tell the clerk that I earned the $6 or whatever by writing a verse to a song. How did you get hooked up with her, Barbara? Is she local to your area? Royalty checks are just so much fun. I still get, from a poetry collection, I still get like $20 every 6 months, which is kind of funny because it's an old thing that's been out for ages. I'm trying to get through to my agent because I have somebody that wants to do a little small independent film of my book, Hugging the Rock, but I need to get them permission. Anne says, Susan, how long did it take you to make clusters with lots of thought? I make one a day and I'm exhausted. Way too much thought on my part. It's just been over the years of working on them. I think it also helps to have an excess of materials. I mean, there's so much to choose from here. How could you not pick stuff up? And also, it kind of goes back to some of what we were talking about, in the conversation, is letting go of the voices in your head that say, oh, no, this has to go here, or it has to be this many layers. The song was recorded by another singer in the 90s. No royalties from that one, but Shania heard it and loved the song. Wow. I think you just need to put the time in like anything else and not think that, okay, well, so-and-so does X number of layers. You don't count the layers. I never count the layers. I do, however, do this a lot where I really didn't want that thread to go on the outside. So we're just going to cut it. I would rather make a new knot than have to rethread the needle. Mouse asks, Michelle, I wonder how much generation and or age impacts what people want from crafting, just because versus business versus acknowledgement. I think that's an interesting question. I mean, I craft because it helps my sanity, but it's also my business. And I also thrive on the kind words that you guys give me. So to me, I need all three. Joanne says, Susan, you are such an amazing artist. I place you in a special category over everyone else I watch on YouTube. The things you are posting on Instagram for your sale are positively fabulous. Oh, thank you. Don't you dare make me cry while I'm on camera, Joanne. You've made me cry several times with your comments that I read when I'm off camera. That's a little bit easier. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm excited about the stuff for the sale. I am really happy with the way some of it's coming together and the ideas I'm getting for future stuff and some classes for you guys. Patty says, I'm in the Just Because book group. Yes. So Barbara, but how did you wrote the verse, but how did you connect with the singer? Did you submit it? Mouse says, I remember hearing there was a generation of fathers that didn't hug their sons because they feared gayness. Yeah, that's true. Luckily, we are mostly past that, at least in our area here. You know, and men weren't supposed to show their feelings. Looky there, we are going to get, okay. These guys didn't land in the right place, so we're just going to take a couple. A lot of times, especially if I've got this silk waist here, I'll just kind of tease it out a little bit. I don't like things to be even. All right. I can already picture I have some beads, some really sparkly yellow seed beads that I think would be pretty in these. Shell says, I started developing my creative side in my 40s, and with mixed media, there's no limit. It's a great way to interact with others and work with your hands and just have fun. Yep. Barbara says, I was part of a community group in Berkeley singing every Friday and Sunday and leading big rituals around the area. The songs got passed around and sung a lot. The first singer was from there. Oh, wow. That's terrific. Mouse says, I can imagine if you grew up never being hugged and then discovered emotions as a senior, you totally value it. One would hope. One would hope. All right, that one's not attached. Now, something else you can do if you still got a long thread on your needle, just come back up and, you know, maybe do a really loopy knot just to get some more texture. To me, a cluster is just all about texture, which is why I go after my edges with a seam ripper. All right, now I got a little loopy thing. Terry says, I found by attending school reunions that generational and geographical impact is amazing. I bet. I only went to one reunion. I think it was like my 10-year reunion. My 50th will be coming up in a few years. Barbara says the second and third verses of that song are written at an Earth Stewards in Context gathering in 1989 in Port Townsend. Someone led the first verse and another woman, and I thought it needed more. Oh, wow. Terry says, thank you, Journey. I'm sure the two of you know what you're talking about. All right, I think this is a new live record, 6 clusters in one day. And if I hadn't been on my soapbox so much, I might have even done more. But there's this one. Let's take a look at what we got. We have 3 yellows. And I am thinking baby chicks. And 3 pinks. Looky there. How cool is that? All right. I think that does me in for now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. I always love our Wednesday conversations. Thanks for being with me when I climbed up on my soapbox. Barbara says, so we were walking down the street with the group to plant a peace pole, singing that first verse, making up the second and third verses as we walked. Oh, lemon meringue. Oh, Fiona, my favorite. My husband's lemon meringue bar is my absolutely most favorite dessert. Now I have those in my brain. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the interactive conversation, too. I really liked it, and you kind of got my brain going on a few ideas. We'll see where we can take our Just Because Club next. Okay, see you guys next week. Go out and have a ball making your kind of art your way just because it makes you happy, right? Bye-bye.